Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Jay. I know it's a little early slash late. Just wanted to pay my respects and tribute to one of the greatest play-by-play announcers in the state of Texas news and sports history and even wrestling history, and that's Bill Mercer. We talked a little bit about Bill Mercer both in the review on the movie The Iron Claw, which came out in 2023, and also uh, with the video I did on World Class Championship Wrestling. But Bill Mercer was much more than that. Although he was with the company from the late 70s to 1982 and was basically, in many ways, the voice of World Class Championship Wrestling, basically what Gordon Soley was to Georgia and what Gorilla Monsoon was to the WWE, as well as what Bill Lance Russell was to the Memphis territory. Bill Mercer was that to World Class Championship Wrestling. All of the great moments from World Class Championship Wrestling was called basically by him. You know, every promotion and every territory back in those days had their special announcers. You know, like I said, Mean Gene Okerlund for the the classical era of the WWF. David says, God bless you, Bill Mercer. But Bill Mercer, prior to getting involved with professional wrestling, he got involved with professional wrestling because he was calling football games for the University of Texas, and he was a very popular football announcer for the University of Texas, right? So, being as that's how Fritz Von Erich heard about him, and that's how he got involved in wrestling. But even before that, he was working on the news, and um, he actually covered the assassination of John F. Kennedy on November 22nd, 1963. He was the main newsman involved covering the Kennedy assassination. As we know, we talked about it. Kennedy's assassination happened in Dallas, so that was, of course, his area. So, in addition to being associated with the tragedies of professional wrestling, like so many tragedies that hit the territory of world class, the Dallas territory, he was also associated with the Kennedy's tragedy. You know, so and he also called a football game when the University of Texas broke the color line in the 1960s. The first black player, he was on the call for that as well. So he was a legendary news slash sportscaster that was involved in wrestling announcer that was involved with many great moments in politics, in sports, as well as in the world of professional wrestling. So God bless Bill Mercer. He lived until 99 years old. He was also a veteran of World War II. He served on the USX Rixley during World War II. And his interviews with RF Video and other wrestling websites are very interesting because it's an interesting look into a man that witnessed so much. At one time, we talked about it in the World Class Review. I don't know, David, you go back and look at it on the archives. World Class Championship Wrestling was one of the most innovative wrestling promotions out there in the early 1980s, probably the dominant promotion of the early 1980s. You know, more dominant than WWE. They did a lot of things that WWE would go on to copy when they were on TV. From about 19 from about 1979 to like 1982, 83. And some would say 84 when uh, David Von Erich died. So, and they, you know, very exciting angles, the Von Erichs versus the Freebirds, Gino Hernandez, Chris Adams. But eventually, of course, tragedy would strike that promotion and they would fall behind. But like the idea for having mics in the ring, the reason why you could hear the wrestlers clearly, the first organization to ever mic the ring in wrestling was the World Class Championship Wrestling organization when they were on the Christian Broadcasting Network in the early 80s. You know, you know what I mean? The first promotion to ever do promo packages of vignettes. The first promotion to yeah. David says he saw it in theaters. Yeah, David, I have a review on it. I loved it, man. The first promotion to ever do promo packages. No promotion did promo packages before World Class did them. World Class did them first. Promo packages with music. No promotion ever used rock and roll music as an entrance theme. We love our wrestling entrance themes. As fans of the 1980s, the World Wrestling Federation golden era, we cannot imagine wrestlers coming out to no music. But before World Class Championship Wrestling, basically nobody had music. A few people like Sergeant Slaughter, he had the Marine hymn, and Gorgeous George had Pop and Circumstance, Macho Man's theme, but nobody had rock and roll music. World Class Championship Wrestling, which Bill Mercer was a part of on the creative side, was the first to do that, man. You know what I mean? So it was innovative, man. Mickey Grant and Bill Mercer, the two producers mainly of the on the production side of World Class Championship Wrestling. So you got to give it up to the innovations. Vince McMahon basically copied it, just like he copied the Super Show idea from Jim Crockett, just like he copied Hulkamania gimmick from Vern Gagne. He copied a lot from World Class Championship Wrestling. So in the annals of wrestling history is Bill Mercer. So rest in peace, Bill Mercer. Yeah, the Iron Claw is a hell of a movie, man. And he in 2005 he did the independent DVD that they came out about World Class Triumph and Tragedy of World Class. He didn't do, I don't think, the WWE version of that because WWE had a version. WWE had a version they came out with, and World Class had an independent version that they did themselves, which was much more honest. You know, when you watch a retrospective on a promotion that WWE has purchased the rights to, like the AWA or WCCW or even ECW or WCW, you get the Vince McMahon spin on it, you know, which is that all the other promotions fell short for whatever reason and Vince McMahon won, which he did. But I'm saying, it's still biased to WWE. But anyway, thank you, David, for contributing. Thank you guys for watching. Rest in peace to Bill Mercer. We've been covering a lot of Texas news lately, man. Texas news, like the last 3 or 4 videos on this channel have been about Texas related stuff. The Greg Abbott stuff, the Bill Mercer, now Bill Mercer stuff. The Selena stuff earlier, everything Texas, 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 Texas. What are we going to talk about with regard to Texas next? Beyonce, The Undertaker, Steve Austin.